The speaker's race has begun. It's March 21st, 2024, and these are your headlines. Well, we're off to the races. At a press conference just blocks from the Texas Capitol this morning, State Representative Tom Oliverson announced he's going to be running for the Speaker of the Texas House. He decried the secretive impeachment push by the House, the dysfunction of the House, and the failure of the chamber to advance school choice. Most significantly, Tom Oliverson said he would end the practice of appointing Democrats as chairs of House committees. That's something that Dade Phelan, the current House Speaker, has defended repeatedly. The Cypress Republican wasted no time in offering a harsh critique of the speakership of Dade Phelan. He said the dysfunction in the Texas House during 2023 highlights a need for change at the Capitol. 2 weeks ago, Republican voters across Texas sent a strong and unmistakable signal that Texas needs a new paradigm. Ineffective leadership in the House brought about the first. The frustration of the voters underscores the second. Now, who is Tom Oliverson? Well, he's an anesthesiologist by trade and entered the legislature in 2017. He represents a large portion of Northwest Harris counties from Cypress. During the most recent session, Oliverson was the House sponsor of Senate Bill 14, which prohibits gender mutilative surgeries from being performed on children in Texas. That bill, of course, was signed into law by Governor Abbott and took effect in December of last year. Now, during his conference this morning, he explained that he had legislation himself killed by Democrat chairs over the last two sessions. He said the rules of the House have been weaponized against members, and he took aim at the outsized role the parliamentarians play in shaping policy. The current parliamentarian, by the way, is Hugh Brady, a Democrat who worked in the Obama White House. As for the selection of the next speaker, Oliverson said he wants the House Republican caucus to follow their bylaws and elect the GOP nominee there. He said he'd not yet spoken with Phelan or any other House members or Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who he's close to. The chairman of the Republican Party of Texas, Matt Rinaldi, however, praised Oliverson's commitment to work within the caucus. Now, a little bit of a historical note for those watching this who might be new to following a speaker's race and what happens in the Texas House. It's important to note that the last two speakers, Dade Phelan and then Dennis Bonnen before him, neither of them were the first candidates to enter those speakers' races. In fact, they weren't the second or even really the third. There were 4, 5, 6 candidates ahead of all of them. And so just because we have one person announced does not mean that they will be the only challenger to House Speaker Dade Phelan. We'll be keeping an eye on the race. 2 more pornography distributors have found themselves in the crosshairs of Attorney General Ken Paxton for failing to comply with a new law that requires age verification for internet pornography. House Bill 1181, which went into effect in November, requires commercial pornography websites to use reasonable methods to verify that users are at least 18 years of age before they access that content online. A coalition of pornography promoters had sued Texas, along with other pro-porn plaintiffs, to keep HB 1181 from taking effect. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, however, ruled recently that the law was constitutional. So Paxton filed a lawsuit last month against ALO Global, that's the conglomerate that owns Pornhub, accusing them of violating the law. Well, rather than just implementing the age verification like the law asked for, they blocked their entire website to Texas users instead. Okay, we'll take that deal. Now Paxton is keeping the enforcement coming, suing Multimedia LLC and Hammy Media, the companies behind the websites Chatterbait and X-Hamster, for failing to comply with the new law. He said Pornhub has now disabled its website in Texas. Sites like Pornhub are on the run because Texas has a law that aims to prevent them from showing harmful, obscene material to children. In Texas, companies cannot get away with showing porn to children. If they don't want to comply, then they should leave Texas. Now, if it's found that these groups did violate the law, the porn provider could be subject to millions of dollars in fines. According to the AG's office, companies violating the age verification requirement are subject to fines of up to $10,000 per day, an additional $10,000 per day if the corporation illegally retains identifying information, and $250,000 if a child is exposed to pornographic content due to not properly verifying a user's age.
Each weekday, join the Texas Minute for a first look at the top news of the Lone Star State. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan, the host of the Texas Minute. The Texas Minute exists to make sure real Texans have the news they need to affect Texas. You can find the Texas Minute at texasscorecard.com or everywhere you listen to podcasts.
As the border crisis wages on, a photo has surfaced showing an illegal alien smuggling victim being transported over the Texas-Mexico border inside a suitcase. The shocking photo, which was reported by the Dallas Express, was posted on Facebook by Galveston County Constable Jimmy Fullen, who said that photo was shared with him by a Kinney County deputy working with Operation Lone Star. Now, the photo shows a man stuffed inside a suitcase in an attempt to avoid detection from Border Patrol. Fullen had said that the photo was originally taken by Border Patrol agents in Uvalde County, which is just east of Kinney County, and shared among law enforcement in the region. Kinney County, by the way, is a small rural area located between Del Rio and Eagle Pass, certainly hot spots in the border crisis. It's been a hot spot itself for human smuggling operations. Although U.S. Customs and Border Protection apprehensions went down significantly in January compared to record highs during the end of last year, instances of human smuggling continue. For more of today's stories, go to texasscorecard.com.